Edge.
Fridays on
Right.
the Edge. Okay,
Um,
so I guess ours was still a little behind. So I guess
Okay, now we're really Fridays on the Edge.
now we
Truly
got
live.
it. Now we're going live for real.
To
On
our
all
audience
channels,
as
to our
For real,
well.
for real.
Yeah, so we'll just give a little repeat there. Sorry, Chris,
Yeah.
to your audience who's seeing
got
seeing
a
us,
broken
but
opening.
yeah, this is Fridays on
All
the Edge.
crazy.
We're Cloud Underground here. Thanks, Chris, for hosting us with your barcode fancy background.
Thank you.
there. It's awesome.
Thank you for hosting me on your stream. This is our first ever attempt at multi-streaming across the board. So
That's
multi-streaming.
right. That's right.
We're all
LinkedIn may
multi-streaming.
shut us down.
We might crash the system.
We might break the internet.
We're gonna break the internet.
I mean, that's what we're trying to do, right?
That's
Always.
what it's all about, is breaking everything, right? So I guess we can see. So for those who are new to Fridays on the Edge, one thing I want to cover is, and Chris, I got to let you in the group real quick so that you can get in a chat too. So we're going to go ahead and get in chats. One of the things about Fridays on the Edge is I've done these live streams in the past, and if you just blast out to just completely random people who don't even necessarily know who you are, it can make like chat all choppy and jarring and disruptive and complicated. So we keep it focused by keeping chat within this Facebook group. It's our Cloud Native Engineers Facebook group on Facebook. So if anyone wants to actually chat with us, that's the place to be. And we're going to go ahead and start paying attention to that chat. And thank you for anyone who's hopping in. So if you are on YouTube or LinkedIn, we might catch a few things here and there, but apologies for missing that. Come on over to Facebook if you really want to do that. For those of you who don't like Facebook, I understand. They take my data, they take your data, they take all of our data. And it's just a thing.
Data thieves.
Their value. All their value.
Now, I am on my LinkedIn and my post, so if we have comments coming through that channel,
Sweet.
I'll just relay them over to you.
Awesome.
So we got all bases covered.
Ready to go.
Well, we have some big news today, which is dun, 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 we launched the Cloud Underground Radio live stream 24/7. Yeah. So yeah, you can go over to our Cloud Underground YouTube channel, which we have linked, I think. Nathan can drop a link in our Facebook chat for everyone in the Facebook group, and I kind of linked it in all the video descriptions, other places. So yeah, go check out our new radio station. It is completely different than the NATO is Code station, which you should also check out if you haven't. That is one that NATO has curated, and then we have the Cloud Underground radio station, which Jordan and I here have curated all of the music for that channel, and very exciting.
Oh yeah,
there's some good stuff in there.
Yeah,
incredibly
definitely.
exciting. All the excitement. So I just dropped a link to the new radio station. So what does this mean for those who've been following us for a while? Cloud Underground. What do we do? Clouds that are on the ground. Like when you think of like cloud, like AWS and all that stuff, like. Who knows what that is, right? It's like this thing out there. But what if that cloud?
You pay for it. And gives you services.
What if you wanted to just like have a cloud and put it on your desk, and then maybe you had someone else who works hours, like a 7-hour drive or longer away, or in another country or something like that.
Or another country.
Give them a part of the cloud. Give someone else a part of the cloud. Give everybody a part. Everybody can have a part of the cloud, and then that way. You don't have to pay monthly fees and things like that. And then the other thing is because we ended up with so much infrastructure, we do allow researchers to just use our cloud at no cost. If you are a researcher, so if you are a scientific researcher of sorts or just a security researcher, threat researcher, anything of the sort, then feel free to come use our DevSecOps service mesh. It's just a thing that we do in the DevSecOps dojo, Cloud Underground. And we are hosting our streams all from our DevSecOps service mesh. So all of those streams are coming from the same system and ecosystem from our cloud. We host them all, and our mesh is spitting this stream out to a whole bunch of other people as well. All the streams, all the hosting.
Oh, yeah.
We host everything ourselves.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about all this hosting and all this multi-streaming, Chris?
It's groundbreaking. It's underground breaking.
It's breaking the underground.
Breaking underground.
Yeah.
No, man, it's an awesome thing you guys are doing, and you guys are pulling it off, man. And I'm happy for you guys, and I'm happy to be part of it.
Yeah, thanks.
It's fun stuff. Yeah,
It's
thanks for
been
joining us too. 'Cause
Been a ride, yeah.
So for my audience that's just tuning in now, explain what Friday on the Edge is, or Fridays on the Edge is really all about.
Yeah, well, Fridays on the Edge, it's kind of our casual like hangout that we do with our Facebook group. We typically kind of just restrict it to our Facebook group, but we like to kind of go out to everyone every once in a while. But we do, yeah, we invite everyone to get into our Cloud Native Engineers Facebook group, and we.
end of the week.
Yeah, it's the end of the
week
week.
show.
Within that group, we post
That's it.
lots of resources for people based on edge computing, cloud native, DevSecOps. Now we're starting to kind of break into the space industry a little bit. So all of these things that we are doing as a company, Cloud Underground, the things that we're focused on and that we're excited about, we share those resources for all of these things in our Facebook group. It's just a fun place to be, essentially. Come and it's pretty casual over there.
Yeah, and if you
Yeah.
want to ask us questions or find out what we're up to, I mean, that's the place to
Yeah,
go.
it's a good place to be.
Yeah, and Fridays on the Edge is a great time to ask questions too and get in contact.
Exactly. So
Interact.
Fridays, yeah, is it just that? Come hang out with us. Come chat with us live. We do this every Friday. Timing varies. We just say after 5 p.m. essentially.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's a lot lighter hearted than the DevSecOps Dojo. DevSecOps Dojo, it's like, we're coding, we're building. It's hardcore, let's go.
Yeah.
yeah.
Use the AI.
So this is more of a decompression
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you can connect, right? You're still amongst your security peers, but at the same time, it's
Exactly.
stress free. End of the week, kick back and just relax, chat about whatever.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
it.
It's pretty casual. We usually talk about some things related to what we're doing, and then other things that we're just interested in or whatever's going on at the moment.
Mhm.
And yeah, we've got lots of cool resources in the group too. So
Some cute dogs will occasionally photo bomb.
yeah, exactly.
You can't have Fridays on the Edge without a cute dog.
That's
I
right.
guess it's
That's
true.
right.
It's mandatory.
All
Unavoidable.
the time.
They're everywhere.
So you guys
You'll
just
see
have
them in
one
the
dog?
background. You'll see them on
You'll hear
camera.
You'll see them, they'll look around. They
So you just have one dog there?
Just at the moment, there's another one, but he's
Okay.
he's off doing his own thing right now.
having his playtime.
And it's Apollo, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Apollo, the new puppy.
It's teething, so it's ready to chomp everything. So it's,
Yeah,
it's in its chomp land. It's like, I'm gonna chomp that. That over there
He's
too.
got some good rope toys,
Oh, yeah.
some good cons, and he's
Different textures.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got a
entertaining
dog.
himself right now.
My dog will be a year in about 2 weeks.
Awesome.
So
Happy
it's
birthday.
getting out of that chomping phase.
Yeah.
I've lost
nice.
about, I don't know, 4 pairs of shoes during that phase. And my last pair survived. So I'm hoping that he's out of that phase.
Good.
But yeah, he was tearing up shoes. He was tearing up everything for a while there.
Sounds
Those
like
early puppy years can be challenging.
Yeah,
It can be a
definitely.
little brutal.
What kind of dog you have, Chris? What's his name?
A
Her name?
Maltese-chan. So it's a Maltese and Bichon.
Oh, wow,
So,
cool.
It's all bark. There's
Sure.
like no fierceness in that the actual dog, but it's a cute dog. It's a good dog. His name is Reno.
Nice.
Okay. Very nice.
Reno.
Yeah, Reno. So yeah, he's a good dog now. Yeah, we had our issues up front, but
Yeah, those early years or something.
we're good now.
The moments you like come back. I
Yeah.
had this like coat that had like I had gotten it as a gift and it was like really expensive or something like that, and I was all happy
Really
about
nice, like
And
super warm
it,
up,
like,
cold weather.
it. Cold weather thing, and I come back one day and the hood, like I guess it's just shredded the
Fur
whole
around
thing
the hood.
all around it, and I'm like, oh,
Destroyed.
I guess that
It was good. It was a good run. It was a good run, Jack.
It's a good run.
Uh,
It's been a long time since I had a dog, so I didn't have that disclaimer. I completely forgot about that aspect.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the destruction. When it's
it didn't
fresh.
take long for it to come back to me.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah. And then there are those moments when you'll like ease up a little bit, and then all of a sudden you found something else that you didn't even think about. You're like, I thought this ended years ago. And the dog's like sitting there like, I don't know what you're talking about, but this is delicious.
It just looks so good.
Couldn't help myself.
Living it up.
Oh,
Living
yeah.
it up. How about any cat? You guys have cats?
We don't have cats. Nathan's very allergic.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe some
Yeah.
hypoallergenics one day, but
Yeah, my cousin has hypoallergenic cats, so we thought about that. Maybe someday.
I've got a couple at home.
Yeah.
They're pretty entertaining.
Sure, it's cat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, Nato's got a valid excuse there. I have one cat, super old, half blind.
oh gosh.
So it's super docile, but the dog likes to attack it.
Oh no.
Oh.
But yeah, she's not having it. She's like, I've been here. You know, you just got here, so
Yeah, right.
relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of an adjustment for Augustus, for our older dog, but
Mm.
just
Yeah.
because the puppy's so like aggressive still, he's just like, I'm gonna bite your face every
Oh,
time
he
I'm
loves
near
to
you.
go for the face, and then Augustus is like, eh.
It's like, I don't
Yeah,
want to
puppy's
play. He's
learned
like
not to
runs
bite
away.
his
He's like, I'm over this.
I like it when my nose gets bit.
Take
He's
my
like,
ball.
Come on.
He's like, I'm
somewhere
gonna
else.
grab my ball and run and go play by myself. And then Augustus will throw his ball by himself, so he'll run off. And then if you watch him, he'll just throw it back and forth and go chase the ball.
Play fetch.
On his own?
He's like, I'm being an introvert dog.
All
You
for
think it's
himself.
possible?
But I think they'll get along once Paul gets a little older. Knows how to play appropriately.
Yeah. That thing a little
We're getting
snapping.
Apollo sounds like a fighter, though.
Yeah.
there. Yeah, he is.
Ready.
Oh
He's
yeah.
got that
Comes
fight.
with his
blood.
mouth open. He's just like, you like pick him up.
Ready to fight. Ready to go.
All right.
Ready to attack.
Teach him how to close those choppers.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dogs, clouds, and DevSecOps.
Yeah, anybody got comments about clouds and dogs? Hit us up.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog
Let us
clouds.
know what your dogs do in the cloud.
Is your dog host a cloud? Because I mean, it's maybe possible. I guess depending on the breed.
Yeah,
Smart
yeah,
dog.
it could be.
My dogs.
Specialized keyboard. Dog.
Yeah.
Train your dog to code.
Teach your dog binary. Oh, you heard of Data Dog.
Zeros.
Data dog. There you go.
Yeah.
Good one. I didn't make that correlation at first. I like that.
Get some data, dog. We got
Data dog.
Yeah. The good times.
I like that. Yeah, I can't see much relation with clouds and dogs. It's raining cats and dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Jordan's bringing up Cowboy Bebop. You ever watched that anime? It was super smart dog who I feel like he could be like a
Well, he actually was a data dog.
Yeah.
He
data
was,
dog.
he was like integrated to computers and he could hack them and stuff. It was interesting.
Nice.
Oh yeah. I guess that's the
Data
correlation. we got there. We found it.
There's an anime for everything.
It even correlates into Grafana. Everyone.
I never got into anime.
I feel like there's something for anybody, really.
Yeah.
It's pretty broad.
Yeah, it's like you go from like silly to dark to like
Yeah.
funny to depressing.
Yeah.
To
You have to like
charming.
animation though. Not everybody does. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't like the look of it, it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of styles a bit. Gotta have the-
Yeah. Yeah, I never got into it. Never got into it.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things out there already, and not enough time in a day.
That's so true.
That's right.
There's, in the DevSecOps dojo, the big conversation of the moment
is let me see what it's called. Some Netflix show that says something about Tinder and
Oh, the Tinder Swindler.
the
We've
Tinder
not watched
swindler.
it,
Huh.
but it was recommended to us.
Is it?
You say Tinder swimwear?
Swindler, like
Tinder swindler.
yes.
Mhm.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
no, it's a
it's like
documentary.
a
I think about some
social engineering, right?
social engineering
Oh.
on Tinder.
Oh, wow. Okay. I gotta hear this.
Perhaps? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
I don't
Maybe
either.
we should watch it.
I guess we maybe should.
Anybody that's on Tinder swindler, let us know. Oh, we got a comment here. We got a comment about dogs in the cloud. All right.
All right, let's hear these dog cloud comments.
My boy Neil Saltman, shout out Neil Saltman, says securing anime dogs in the cloud.
Yeah.
Boom,
Oh,
just
yeah.
tied it all together.
That's right.
Always.
Full circle.
Man, that's
All the
got to
way.
be a first topic for I think anyone on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Securing anime dogs in the
Let's
cloud.
claim it. It was ours.
We got
So,
it.
so you would need some type of cloud perimeter, right, to secure the dogs in.
Yeah, because otherwise,
Planted.
if the dogs aren't secure, then what? That's.
I mean,
doesn't
he's
sound
Don't
microchipped.
take-
too,
Potentially
don't
so I feel
tethering,
like-
I don't know.
Yeah, you can tether him with his chip or something to the cloud. I don't know.
Yeah, they'll escape the cloud. But they're anime dogs, so if that happens, you just turn the TV off.
Oh yeah,
Done deal.
Problem solved.
There you go. Problem solved.
I have so many thoughts in my head right now. I'm just gonna say AI. I hate the AI right now. It's just messing with my head. I'll
What?
tell you about it. It's not an on-stream thing. We have this AI, and it tells me things, and then I tell everyone else what it says. But sometimes those things, we'll have to talk about those things in the dojo. So if people join the DevSecOps dojo, you'll notice that there's this bot that responds to you called Augustus. And while it is named after Augustus, it is the immortal version of Augustus, actually, which is actually
The AI
true.
bot, Augustus.
The AI bot Augustus
Speaking of dogs and
is an AI.
clouds,
Yeah.
AI.
And it actually helps you if you join the dojo member passively. So it even helps you, Chris, whether you know it or realize it or not. It actually does things, and it works with what are called crawlers. And what crawler mode is like, if you've ever heard of like SEO, like search engine optimization. Search engine optimization relies on like robots reading little instructions on like website headers. And so when you accept cookies or you deny cookies, then you're basically creating what's otherwise known as like influence to your own personal crawler sets, which means that you do have control over your personal crawlers. People might not realize that they control their personal crawlers, but you do. And so AI Augustus uses your crawler sets to allow you to find, basically if you use LinkedIn, it uses your data to influence the crawler sets to have LinkedIn's SEO then draw people to you that you might like talking to, working with, and sometimes we'll just send you thoughts on would you want to work for them, things like that. Or for professionals who need more customers or more feedback on it just brings people to you on LinkedIn that might be good fits for you. That's all it does. But if you don't use LinkedIn, then you don't get to see how your crawler sets work. So that's the first thing that we do with the DevSecOps dojos. Also, because one of the ways that people tend to get hacked is by not understanding their crawler sets and people manipulating their data where other people know how to control your data. So you should know how to control your own data too. And if you don't know how to control your own data, that's what we kind of ease people into, because security first, it's the DevSecOps dojo. What's number one? Your personal identity is pretty important, I would think. And so we teach you how to use your own data. Facebook uses it. Hey, Facebook, I'm sorry. You can use it too, though, is the point.
You should have priority over that
Yeah,
data.
oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be nice if that
everyone
worked
else
for
is
you
using
a
your
little
data.
bit.
Yeah, why
exactly.
can't it help you too? I just don't understand. So that's what that's all about.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So how would one enter this dojo?
If you go to cloudunderground.dev, you will find
There's a tab on the top of the page. This is DevSecOps Dojo. If you click there, there's links to like the to the forum to like get into everything exactly. And it's
Nice.
free for everyone. Just hop on over there, and there's a lot more information on our website. I mean, the DevSecOps Dojo tab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can go
Free is my
cloudunderground.dev/DevSecOps
favorite.
Dojo.
Free is my most favorite 4-letter word
Oh
at the top of the list.
Oh yeah,
Free
definitely.
open source.
Free.
Free.
Yeah, we have
Open source.
lots of free resources at Cloud Underground. That's a big part of what we do. Is we just want people to be able to access what we do. Essentially, create your own business like we did. And
Yeah.
help yourself.
Build the resources you want. Build the streams you want. Build the tools you want.
Mhm.
You know, it's interesting. We started with drop shipping, and
Yeah.
I drop shipped orange pies. If anyone's ever heard of an orange pie, it's like a raspberry pie, but it's not a
Only
raspberry.
better.
And not nearly as fast.
No.
Well, at the time, I chose it because the Raspberry Pi 4 didn't exist.
Yeah.
And the Orange Pi 2E was the name of the model, and it had more power than the Raspberry Pi 3B. And I was like, Raspberry Pi ain't quite hitting certain numbers I need.
Yeah.
And then it still wasn't quite fast enough to do like server level computing that I would expect for like enterprise performance for hosting. So at best, it was good for teaching people how to develop. And then all of a sudden, if anyone's heard of the Raspberry Pi 4 came out in 2019. And something that people might not know about that event is cloud resources, things like that, hosting servers. The Raspberry Pi 4 was fast enough to be used as like a somewhat conventional prim server, but in the size of like a credit card. And finally bringing that onto the desk of the consumer, you could think of like the cell phone now is more powerful than some of these beefy like computers from like the 90s, you name it. You have like these giant machines, and now we got cell phones that like this thing is more powerful than what went to the moon. You know, however you want to slice it or discuss it.
So so Neil's back. Neil's back in the comment zone and said, "Is DevSecOps your favorite 9-letter word?" I'm sure that's directed at you, Nato.
I would have to say I guess so. So I'm going to say yes. That sounds.
I guess so.
That sounds.
How often in one day do you say DevSecOps on average?
Well, this is going to sound interesting to folks. I actually don't generally talk to a lot of people outside of like text. So to get like my face in front of you and me talking to you is like pulling teeth. And it's not that I mean anything against anyone, but I'm very much so like I kind of go off into the shadows and the darkness and hide in a corner where there's no one around there. And then if there's, but anyways, so I, you know, and then if I'm
But
talking
you're thinking DevSecOps.
Yeah.
all
How
day.
many times does the
Yeah.
word pop into your
pop
brain
into my
on a daily basis?
Well, that's probably too much to count. A couple thousand times. No.
We
Several
basically
times
just
a minute.
live it at Cloud Underground, so
Yeah.
We live in a DevSecOps service mesh because we at first we turned our entire old place into the beginning of a mesh, and then we got a dedicated space, and it's like much bigger, and we have our own like fiber line that has like another meshing line, and then we also have multiple sites coming in now. But yeah, we just live. We all live in our DevSecOps service mesh. We live in our Cloud Underground. We live in our own cloud. How about that?
That's right.
People are like, "Where's the cloud?" It's right here.
We host it.
There.
Yeah.
It's not someone else's computer. It's someone else's house
Oh,
in
yeah.
Colorado.
That's
And then
right.
and then there's multiple sites because we got other folks who host sites.
Mhm.
So we've got different locations. So the other benefit there is if one site goes down, it's okay. It's a mesh. The services can live wherever. So just connect to a different site. The service mesh.
That's it.
Yeah. It just stays up. It's like a starfish.
chop off a part of like one of the limbs, like grows back,
Throwback.
and got its arm back, it's ready to go.
All right, let's keep the comments coming. Who else is on? We want to hear your favorite 9-letter word.
Now that we've been in here for a while.
Does Tony the bartender serve drinks in the cloud? I mean, I can probably get Tony the bartender on, but it's the bar just shut down, so I don't know if I can get him. But Tony is he's very mobile. So yes, he's on the ground, he's in the cloud. Tony serves drinks. If you're paying for him, he's serving them. You know that.
Wherever you are.
That's right.
Wherever you're at, if you got money, he's serving drinks. So
My kind of bartender.
Best kind. Gotta do things right.
we did an episode with Ashish Rajan. Shout out Ashish, who does the Cloud Security podcast, and we did an episode with him where it was all based in the cloud, and we had someone come into the bar. We have an elevator on one of the side walls of the bar that you get in the elevator. It takes you straight to the cloud, and all they do is serve drinks up there. So
Nice.
that's all. That's a cloud focused episode right there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All the fun.
Oh yeah. Elevator to the cloud.
Only one direction. That's it. And you have to listen to find out what the drink was. The drink was cloud based. So
Nice.
Sounds delicious.
oh yeah.
Good teaser. We'll go check that
Real
out.
2 or 3 of them. We'll have to just like get all of your drink cards, and then just because there's like a bar across the street. Bars, they're around, and just hand them.
You're like, I need this.
I need
Make
this.
me this.
Make me this, and then you can use those cards to make us drinks. And be like, send me a drink, and we'll just go down there and we'll.
Hey,
Just,
I'm a pretty good
And
mixologist.
it's,
I make good drinks too. I got a
So what's
recipe.
I guess we could go that way too.
Do it yourself.
So I want to hit back on the Facebook topic. When we all enter the metaverse,
Mm-hmm.
what's that going to look like? And how the drink's going to taste?
Web 3.0. Yeah, how will it taste? Oh, and
That's-
we got a
that's a
comment
good
over on Facebook. Cloudy Sky Vodka Martini.
Ooh,
That's not
That
too bad.
sounds yum.
That sounds.
Delicious.
I got to look that one
Go
up.
for that.
A
Go.
little cloudy like whipped cream on top.
Yeah,
Gotta make it good, right?
Oh yeah.
interesting.
Good
All the suggestions.
suggestion.
One of those times.
Yeah, no. What are drinks gonna taste like in the metaverse? Will we be
That's a
able
good
to taste?
question. Yeah, will we be able to test drinks? Well, if Elon is coming up with compute chips that let people like taste things.
Oh,
It's like
all right.
they're-
It's
it's
wired
like
in
a-
your brain. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I forgot
Just
about
send
that.
us
Is it
signals.
Neuralink or whatever?
I don't know. Those
Yeah,
little
yeah,
little
Neuralink.
wires that they have
That's
that they
what
can like implant in people.
Is it gonna be
Yeah.
like
So
the Matrix?
crazy.
Are we gonna be like pulling things out of our necks and like?
Plug into it and learn kung fu in like a second. Yeah.
Well, it's like, if
That's the
you see
future of DevSecOps, right? Secure your brain first. That ransomware doesn't bode well. Oh
That
no!
reminds me of another
Neuralink
anime.
ransomware. Oh, that's so terrifying.
Like Ghost in the Shell.
We
Your brain
can't
can
let
get-
that happen.
Your brain case can get hacked.
We
Your
can't,
eyes
we
will get
can't let
hacked.
people develop neurotechnologies without security in mind at all.
No,
That's
no.
terrifying. Just get it to market. Just get it out.
Well, they've already had issues with that with some implants, I believe, that have not been well secured and have had ways to connect to them. It's like been potential. I think
That's scary.
maybe I can't remember if it was pacemakers or what it was, but that's already been a thing actually.
Oh, they were insulin pumps.
Oh, is that what it was? Insulin? Oh, that
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
totally
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah, you
Yep.
want your insulin pump to be safe from
Controlled
hackers. That's
By
for sure.
only.
Yeah. Yep. There are certain things that's just not
Yeah.
worth getting hacked. So developing things, you got to start caring. Because
It's scary, man. It's scary.
if you
So the metaverse is scary, man. I don't know too much about it. I mean, I hear about it, but you're already starting to get. I don't know if you saw the news, but there was an allegation that I think a female had been sexually assaulted in the metaverse
Interesting.
digitally,
Hmm.
Huh.
and I think she was yeah. So I
That's
think
really
that's
cool.
I think we're going to see more of that.
I think you're right. I mean, the
Because
internet
people on
definitely
the
has
internet
its
are
dark
pretty
corners,
toxic.
and
Oh, yeah.
there's definitely
Oh, they are.
terrible
are.
people out there.
It makes me think about like, cause so like
And then
I
you're kind of shielded by the internet, so you have like this anonymity, and so it's people are a lot more brazen too.
so like I always look at like weird technologies when they're new and stuff like that. There's this, if you go to Steam, there's this VR chat,
Oh.
and you don't necessarily have to have VR to even go in there, but I just see like VR chat happening all over again. Which if anyone was there when it began, especially, it's just that same sort of thing. People can be pretty terrible, and it's like if they could just like put whatever face they want on, like they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and then they're gonna have like no repercussions. This goes back to like security. Cybersecurity isn't really all that different from physical security. You still gotta manage some of the same behaviors, and it's just like in a virtual world. If we don't make measures ahead of time on how can you even prevent certain things, like in person, you can like hold people back. And the security, you gotta understand what a port is. If you don't understand what a port is, that at least figure that out first. You know.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be it's gonna be interesting to see how the metaverse evolves and what kind of challenges come with that
Yeah. Like how do you block these
new
things?
kind of
prevent-
space. The other thing
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
really,
right now there's no regulation, right? It's
Wild
yeah, I
West.
don't think so. It's
Wild
it's
West.
the
You
Wild
can go
West.
in there and do what you want, commit crime, and it's like you gonna go to virtual jail. Like what's
Yeah.
the real
Yeah, exactly. What are
repercussion?
the,
Yeah.
How do you hold people accountable?
Like a lawless land, and then people end up with like trauma and don't even realize that they're traumatized. That's terrible.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's traumatizing. It's
You know.
mentally taxing, and that's real.
Yes, it
Like
is.
that real effects that you're impacted by
Mm-hmm.
in a
And I
virtual
think
world. That's crazy.
I think one thing that's scary about like trauma is people like it doesn't really matter what someone's opinion on it of whether or not something is or isn't traumatic. The brain and body decides what's traumatic, not you as a person. That's not your choice as to what was traumatic or not. So oftentimes people will incur trauma from something that's like rapid change. So here's an example of that is, believe it or not, rapid change does cause trauma within the brain. And people might not realize that, but it's like even if we think about like 2020, that's mass PTSD on a huge scale because we
Massive
had
change
massive change very quickly.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. I think that people then will think like, oh, if I have PTSD, then there's something wrong. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It's just acknowledging that there's something that now has to be, if you want to like navigate it, manage it, or you can deny it. But with things like VR, if someone gets traumatized with something in an internet space that's not like touching them, then it's hard for them to get the validation, like whether that's internal validation to themselves or external validation. Someone who's gonna be like, that's something we need to like think about a little bit and figure out because that's gonna
Yeah.
live with you.
Yeah.
I think it's along the same lines as cyberbullying. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
another
Mental-
route to do it, basically.
Yeah. I just see it being like Grand Theft Auto. Oh no. The difference is
except you're like you're paying real money for these cars. It's like
Right.
Oh, no.
it's
Exactly.
even also
Oh,
like, yo, I just
exactly.
paid 50 grand for
Even
that
worse.
car. You stole it,
yeah.
but it's my NFT car.
Oh, that's terrible and true. Because people have been stealing NFTs, and so it kind of goes back to like while you can. Well, that's the other thing about security too is if you don't have recovery measures in place or mitigation, I think one of the first thoughts that I have working in security is you're probably going to get hacked. So it's higher value to like, hey, try your best, sure, but also make sure that your focus is more on the response too, because your recovery time makes a difference. And if you don't think you're going to get hacked, your recovery time will always be tracked.
Yeah.
But if you think you're going to get hacked, you can detect things before it hits anything that even matters, and then like someone will be thinking that they're getting into something that looks like an asset when that's what a honeypot's for. Do I care if someone's in my honeypot? I want them in there.
Yeah.
I sit there and look at them. I'm gonna study them. I'm gonna see what they're doing at different things and different angles. By the way, if someone's in my DevSecOps service mesh doing something suspicious, I do watch you, and I do find I had a
Sees
honeypot where you could change the passwords in it, and folks just come in and they're like, change that password. Ooh, that's nasty. Coming in, changing people's passwords on them and stuff. Setting up like remote access tunnels. Y'all some terrible people.
Yeah.
But
How do
yeah,
you trap them though?
how do you well, because
How do you trap them?
honeypots are pretty much just like sensors.
Oh yeah, I know. But once they're in, you're seeing what they're doing. But I mean, how can
you emulate. So I make container cities. You can basically
Okay.
just take a whole bunch of Docker files and things like that, and then put them in a Docker and just like put them all in there, and then set it up to, go out to the web however you want it to be identified, and then you can kind of see who's coming in from what side of it, and then you can put different names on the things, and some might be databases or something juicy like that, and they'll come in there, and you got to make it interesting. And people like puzzles, and you'll find more and more that if you set up an environment for hackers, they love puzzles. And I don't know, I like puzzles, so I guess it makes sense because I think it's fun too. So we're just like all sitting in there together, and I'm having a good time. They're having a good time. I don't even think they think or realize I'm having a good time too.
But could you hypothetically drop a ransomware executable in there and label it credit card info or my personal info?
Yeah, you can do stuff like that, and
that's what I'm talking about, trapping them. Like, all right,
Yeah.
well now you're in, but now you're going to pay for getting it.
Oh yeah, the honeypots, you can make them nasty if you want
you can put something like crypto wallet. Now I've done that before. Someone was messing with my stuff, and they tried to send me a link, and then I sent them a link to crypto wall, and that's on them if they think they're trying to get me to do it.
Okay, yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, who, and then, come on, people, if you're going to send someone a malicious link and then they just immediately send you a link, how are you going to click that link? And why did you do it? Really, though, and that was on Steam, too. Because people try
And
to
that's
do
on
that.
them, though.
That's on them.
That's
So
on
they shouldn't
them.
have clicked. I didn't click their link. Why did they click my link? Why did they send me that link in the first place?
Yeah, but have it like buried. So like if they get in, okay, we'll let you get in. Then you go to level 2. All right, the next level you're done. Right? You're in this deep now.
That's what a
Strike,
big
you're out.
payload
There you
is.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like they're like choosing to go do something, and it's one of those things of like, if someone's got like bears in their basement, and someone just decides they want to go snoop in this person's basement, if those bears get that person, I don't know, right? They shouldn't have gone in that basement.
Yeah.
If it wasn't
Right.
my basement, especially if
Right.
it's like beware of the bears, and then someone opens that door and goes down there with the bears anyways. That's kind of how I see, someone
Yeah.
coming in there like, ooh, this isn't mine. Oh, I don't own this at all, and I'm coming in. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh
And
yeah,
they're
yeah,
getting
yeah. It's not
excited,
like
they're
it's
getting
not like
pumped
I
up.
accidentally stumbled into this environment.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Turn
there's
back
no
now.
accident.
If you don't turn back now,
Yeah,
we know that you're here. Like we know you're
Yeah.
coming. It's not an accident. So at that point, I think all bets are off.
Oh, I
Yeah.
agree, yeah.
because it's like there's no reason for them to be there. Why would they even like? So if they think it's try hack me or hack the box or something like that, those don't hack
It's
back.
not. That's not what
Right.
it is. And there may be consequences.
And I do have like malware analyst labs, so there's actual malware in my ecosystem. So and that's true too. So if you're my ecosystem, you choose the wrong stuff. Like I don't know what to tell you. We just had a server die today because I was just like, all right, server, I'm gonna watch you go corrupt. We're gonna see how long it goes, and it just
Yeah.
slowly declined until it started crashing, and I had a bunch of like orchestrated
cluster workers running on that thing, and then they would all go corrupt. And then I had this terminal server that I've maintained for like 7 years, and I was like, that was a $2,000 terminal server license. I'm letting you go. And I was like, goodbye, goodbye, $2,000 license from Microsoft. I will miss you. It's gone.
Well, there's your dog correlation too. I mean, it's almost like your guard dog in the cloud. Your guard dog, right?
Yeah.
You train them to attack when needed,
Right.
when provoked.
Command.
Yeah.
Attack on command.
Like on the internet. You know, and that's deep web anyways. If you're doing deep web stuff, that's on you if you're like snooping on someone's system. Like because if you snoop on say VMware systems, you're gonna find malware there too. I'm not like, maybe that sounds like a thing that's unique. It's not. It's threat research. I'm a threat researcher, so there's others out there. There's a lot of threat researchers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
How involved have you got with deep web or dark web?
Oh, deep web is mostly like infrastructure, anyways. So that's like if you're doing like working with Tor nodes or like dummy nodes and things like that, or temporary nodes, or like one-off instances, and then you're running like random bare metal that I don't know. Anyways, that's more like deep web stuff. That could even just be for like setting up relays. There's these things called XOs. So I've actually done that sounds crazy. I've built cloud a number of times in different ways for different types of companies, whether it's data centers, different things. If you're setting up like proper infrastructure, you have to deal with internet infrastructure. Internet has infrastructure, and I don't know what the proper term of them, but we call them XO servers. And if if you're on Windows and you run a tracert, TRACERT, to like a website like Tracert Google or Tracert something else, you'll notice that there are these hops. Those hops, those are, it's like an XO server, a little transfer server that basically is what runs the internet. And you can actually use those for business if you're trying to like build infrastructure on certain things. And it just depends on what you're doing. You'll find that like there's ones run by Akamai, Google, different types of companies. But yeah, it's the thing. And dark web, threat research, you go on there and there's all kinds of stuff to like pull and go see what the hash is doing and figure out how to stop some of these things. Reverse engineer them. You usually spend a lot of time in binary, so you spend time researching processor transactions.
Oh goodness.
In the register. There are tools called like Radare 2 is one that you can use for that type of analysis. So if anyone's ever heard of Radare 2, it's an old NSA tool. Ghidra, I guess, is what they use now. So you can use Ghidra too. They're both free. Radare 2, Ghidra, NSA tools, or is it NSA? I'm pretty sure it's NSA. You can look it up, Google it, any of the above. But that stuff, if you have like isolated networks, like I also have a bunch of isolated networks. It's fun. I don't know. You could get a separate router that does nothing but host this stuff. Get a firewall for it. Play with some malware. Just be ready to lose a lot of money. So don't play with malware unless you're ready to lose something or a lot of something and spend lots of time being real frustrated. Don't you dare. So only take that advice if you do enjoy suffering and pain. And if you come back to me like saying like I tried looking at malware and it caused me suffering and pain, I told you. So like if that's what you want, that's on you, not me. Yeah. No,
You've been warned.
there we go. All right. I guess it's that.
All right, are we signing off?
I think so. It seems
Yeah.
like
Running
a
up on the
good time.
45-minute mark.
We had some nice, good flow, guys.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Conversation.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys again
Dogs.
for the invite, and
Thank
hopefully we'll see you again.
Absolutely.
Sometime next
Yeah,
week,
this has been
hopefully.
great. Definitely.
Yeah. Be around.
All right.
All right. We'll sign
See you
off.
guys next
Later,
time.
Chris.
We'll see you guys.
Bye, everybody
Bye,
else.
everyone.